casting of the Reddit League here on YouTube. I am Zatomo, and I'm joined as always by my co-commentator, Calamity. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. We're casting one of yours today, probably the most anticipated matchup in all of Reddit League, given how much trash talk you two like to throw at each other. We have you up against RadoX. So I don't know how serious it all is, but it certainly has been lighting up the Reddit and the Discord chat for a while. But no, there's been friendly banter between you guys even before you got promoted to Division 2.
Yeah, it's long ago. Yeah, well, I'm obviously the favorite in this matchup. Obviously. Don't mind the stats, but no, even the stats are pretty even right now. It's just aces that are much more in my favor, but RadoX just doesn't like pinpointing, so that's not too big of a deal.
Yeah, RadoX is pretty famous for not worrying about the pinpointing too much and just going for some good scores. That's why, despite his aces being only half of yours, 6-12 Calamity, his average point as well as best game is right up there with you. He sits 3 points behind you, but 5 places behind you in the table. So this win for him here could jump him quite up to be equal with you almost, if he manages to pull it off. But we are on a world map today, as we take a look at that. An AI-made world map by Mr. American Mike. Average score of 10,574 points with over 10,000 locations. Big countries get more coverage, given that it's an AI map. So do you favor yourself on this one, Calamity? Pinpointing a little bit less important on a world map, but not too much.
I always favor myself against RadoX. I would have favored myself more on a different map. World maps probably the maps where he has the best chance of beating me. There's a couple others this season where I would have favored him, like probably Italy or maybe even California, just from the get-go. But on a world map, he's always got a good chance.
Yeah, I think I favor you as well, but definitely he could give you a run for your money here. So let's just jump right in and see if that does in fact come true as we take a look at round number 1. And I've got to mute everybody.
Yep, lots of voices coming at you.
Yeah. Well, I get used to it. Like, so many people don't record audio that I forget to check sometimes, but you two both record audio, and we even got a face cam for you there, so I get to see your reactions to things. Starting off on a lovely coastal, looks like a coastal South American village.
That tells me everything I need. And as always, I zoom in completely the wrong part of the world at first.
Centro de Salud Cisal.
Cisal, yeah. It is a village name I was familiar with. I said that in my video as well. I once had back in the day when I was still doing just normal Reddit League Reddit challenges, I once had a non-moving game in Cisal. So I was still familiar with it. I spent quite a long time back then finding that.
Yeah. RadoX hasn't seen anything that noteworthy. He's seen a few indications it might be Mexico, but beyond that, I don't think he's seen that same sign you have.
Yeah, he's walking around quite slowly. He just went past a graffiti on the wall that actually said Cisal, but she just ignored that. I barely saw it as well.
Yeah, I'm sure whatever that is. Yeah, right alongside the wall. I just totally spaced. What is that word? Oh, there you go. .mx. So he definitely knows it's Mexico now.
That also says Cisal.
Yeah. So whether or not he recognizes it as a city could come into play here.
I've hit sort of a roller coaster that's in the middle of the street right there. I'm not really sure what that is, but yeah, at this point, I'm just doing confirmations that that's where I actually am.
As we pause at your little celebration there, RadoX is seeing that he is on the Yucatan. He knows we're in Mexico, so he should be able to put a location down not too bad. There's another indication of soul. But I don't know. He seems to be going away from the beach, which is probably the worst bit of information because I don't know if he's seen the fact that we're actually on the coast or not.
I'm actually not sure. I think he probably would have because we start with a view of the coast. So if he didn't move too fast away from that and actually took a proper look around, then he would have noticed.
He does make a good mental note of all the information he has been seen, even if he didn't slow down to note that. And he will now look for which street he might be on.
Yeah, using a restaurant.
Yeah, and thankfully all the stores are in the right spot.
That's
like he will
not
be
always the
picking up
case in Mexico.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it, is that they can be slightly mislabeled. And it will be good enough for an ace for him as well, Calamity. So a very nice seaside location that is recognizable for both of you.
Not the best pinpointing work here by him, but on a world map, 22 meters is fine.
Great. Well, then let us jump. He spends quite a bit of time in between his rounds as well. So let's jump into round number 2 then. Here, if you stop talking and click the button, there we go. And, oh, have I been here before? It looks very familiar.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe it's just the type of intersection that looked very familiar on this one. But probably another South American country, and as you both see, very good indications at the same time that it is Brazil.
Yep. Governo de Minas Gerais.
You've got the state, and he's got a bunch of cities.
Which include Rio de Janeiro, so he might as well have the state.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is almost 500 kilometers away, so I don't know how helpful that is, but you can slowly work your way back.
It's very helpful if you have a couple others on that side as well.
So he's got the city already. About 30 seconds into the round, he's got the city. He's looking to. You have 3 minutes and a half.
Yeah. No, I see that sign as well. Yeah,
you'll get that sign. Means you will be doing the same thing he just did. It looks like he's pretty confident on that location.
It stands out on the map.
It's a pretty unique intersection. And then you will also find it not too far behind. So yeah, both of you not even needing half the time to really be able to do this. Already practicing for Division 1.
Yeah, that's in general. I think it's a good idea to practice timer-wise for a division that you'd like to get to, just so that if you actually do get promoted, you don't end up, having to change your playstyle too much because you're now missing important time that you had otherwise.
And you will get an ace. We never really get to see the location because Schwingo is the only really other player, and he just clicks off the map. So
get to see it when RadoX guesses, finally.
Yeah. And he found it first, but he takes his good sweet time, but he will get an ace as well. So yeah, after 2 rounds, nothing separating you two, Calamity.
We'll see if that changes. We had some pretty easy rounds to start with, to be honest.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think either one of those really challenged either of you, and even for RadoX, who doesn't like doing pinpointing, that was definitely pinpointable locations. As we jump here into round number 3.
Yeah, that those pinpointable locations. Forget about them.
Yep, I was about to say, and we're finally not in South America either. So,
I mean, Mexico isn't in South America.
Americas.
Okay.
I have the bad American habit where everything below America is just south. So technically, yes, it is Central America, not South America.
Yeah, even if you split in North and South and ignore Central, it's still North America.
Yeah, Mexico. pretty far up there. And you got to go around a fallen tree in the road.
Yep. 2 even.
That's interesting. RadoX.
Yeah, important to note you both walked in different directions.
Yeah, you're headed south while he's going north. He will see some like island names. Maybe?
No, there's no island names here. It's just language. So he knows that he's at least in either Indonesia or Malaysia. Well, I found a sign that tells me we're in Sabah. All the other information on that sign is pretty much useless. But you gotta check.
Yeah, especially when you see the country and the island. That's really gonna make you see what else you can find on there. RadoX not seeing any sign that good. But I think he is picking up the clues where he might be.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely going south here was by far the easier way to information.
Yeah, plenty of hopeful signs. Looks like a big corporation's got their setup going on here. RadoX is seeing some good plantation names and the like, but I don't know if he's got anything else to really help him. Kind of very detailed information. If he doesn't know what island we're on, not going to help him. He needs to figure that out first.
Yeah, I just found information for at least where the company is at, which doesn't necessarily have to mean that that is where the location is, but, you know, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, you got a nice address there. Definitely help you out.
And I found where the address points to.
And again, RadoX getting lost in all the little details, looking at all those little signs. But not seen anything yet.
Yeah, that
will finally open the map with 20 seconds, but he will jump right to a good location. So
he just found a sign that said Sabah, and he proceeded to put his pin in Sarawak instead.
He'll make that adjustment.
Didn't learn enough.
Maybe.
Didn't learn enough from last season from Malaysia.
Maybe not. He's going to run out of time here. And you too cannot be interrupted by... I didn't realize RadoX didn't have Geoguessr Pro.
Didn't anymore. I think he told me it ran out like a month or 2 ago. And he's been so busy that he just... I don't know. If he can't redo it or hasn't had the time or doesn't want to, I don't know.
Anyways, he will be on the right island at least, but unfortunately way on the wrong side. Picks out a wrong city with a quick glance, and will only earn himself 2,997 points. Calamity, you will not get an ace, but you will get 4,987 points.
I think it's 887. Yeah, you can see it better on RadoX's screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 887. There we go. Yeah, yours is always a little bit weird at the scoreboard at the end there for that round. Yeah, so just a little bit of going the wrong direction, I guess. Not much else you can fault RadoX for. He did eventually find the information, but just not a whole lot of time left.
I mean, you can definitely fault him for placing his pin in Sarawak when he saw a sign that said Sabah. But yeah, he probably would have... maybe, actually. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, he probably would have found the right town if he went the right way. But yeah, we'll never know.
Yeah, I think part of that was just more of he knew the time was kind of running down on him and he just had to click somewhere and he saw, oh, it's something, and then just clicks and realizes, nope, that's not it. But at least he gets a pin down. Doesn't get skunked on that one, but he will lose just under 1,000 points, under 2,000 points to you there. As we jump into round number 4. So I don't know. That's pretty rough. I don't see him being able to come back from that. I don't think anybody can really come back from like a 2,000 point deficit.
Well,
really.
just wait. We're in the US here. In a suburb.
Yeah, and you are notoriously bad at some U.S. suburbs.
Mm.
Not your favorite, so maybe he gives them a chance here. As you get stuck in cul-de-sac after cul-de-sac.
That was the most frustrating one because I was about to exit and then it just teleported me into there anyway.
Yeah, it's really annoying sometimes when
There we go.
something weird in the coding that must just happen when you try to click and you actually click on a different coverage location
Yeah, I
than
think
what's right in front of you.
it's mostly just if you like, you always see that little like see-through X on the bottom, and if you just don't click in a position where that is there, like right in front of you, then it can just teleport you somewhere else. Sometimes a bit unlucky.
At least you both have made it out onto. Oh, as I say that, RadoX somehow jumps back to the start for some reason. But you've definitely found your way out of there and found some county information, but it's a little bit too small.
I think it's at James City County, but what use is that to me?
Yeah, and RadoX has seen James River, so probably related.
Probably.
Yeah. But again, suburbs can be really tricky. No really good signs. All the information is very local,
Yeah.
and so
Usually.
there you go. Finally. Oh, okay. 64 and 60. That'll give you something to look for. RadoX, in the meantime, has made it out onto that same highway as you have, and we'll be looking to see that sign eventually.
Yeah, usually, as long as you're in the suburb, you're never going to find information to pinpoint any of it, or to even find out where you are, usually.
Yeah, your first mission in a suburb is always get out of the suburb to be able to avoid that. But I'm just having a life choice, just like crisis, realizing how cheap these houses are and how much I could buy with that in Japan. Only 200,000? Really? For a house like that? Not where I live. Oh, there's a McDonald's. It's a helpful sign.
Yep.
But
And
this should be a really good sign here.
we just found another instance of that we already saw when I think it was Tall Impala against Chicago, where just both of you finding the right street or right highway in this case at the wrong end or at the other end. So RadoX found the 64 in Richmond, which is relatively close to where we are. I found it on the complete other end. And the unfortunate thing there as well is that the 64 and the state highway, not state highway, the US highway 64 and the US highway 64 and the interstate 60, there we go, follow each other for quite a while. So you can't really just, know the right intersection between the two.
Yeah, they can be tricky. They are very long, and you still said it backwards. The Interstate 64 and US Highway 60. But that sign there also had the city names, and just, I think RadoX recognizing a very large city in Richmond, and just looked there first and then saw the roads. Well, I think you got a bit unlucky and noticed the roads first, which, as you pointed out, are quite long, and you picked it up on a rough sweep. So he will gain quite a bit back, not the whole bit, 4,765 for him. 3,000, and still not read that.
I think it's 3,994.
Why is it so small on your screen?
Because my screen's big.
Oh, that might, the resolution is a little bit different.
But yeah, something that's also interesting to point out here is that on RadoX's screen, he's played after me, and he saw that with this round that I fell out of the top 3, but he doesn't know how far I fell out. He just knows that he potentially might still have a chance. I might have gotten 4 points in that round for all he knows, when in actuality I'm like 13 points or something behind, or is it? I think it's 60 points or something behind Schludi in 3rd place there. So he doesn't have a chance anymore if I get a perfect score, but he doesn't know that, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, so now he's flying blind, so to speak, but he does know he might have a chance to catch you here as we jump into the final round, and it might show that he spends quite a bit of time in between this round here.
Yeah, that he spent, because I've watched his video. He's pretty much spending that time talking about exactly what I've just told you. That he doesn't exactly know how many points I got because he can't see me anymore.
So both a blessing and a curse as we start this final round here. And, oh, a very nice, interesting Russian location. I believe I saw Cyrillic.
Yes, you did.
Both of you never quite looked directly at the sign, but...
Yeah, I think we both read it, but, you know, just didn't really zoom into it because there was no need. No time to waste.
Yeah, an AI world map definitely showing us why it's a world map and what AI does when you give it one. It picks Brazil, the US, and Russia.
Yep.
And then maybe one or two other things. So, very representative of the map itself, which is quite interesting. But we'll make this final round very tricky, and probably RadoX couldn't have asked for a better round to finish. It could all come down to who sees what, and you actually get the first good sign here.
We walked in opposite directions, and, well, now I know where we are.
Is not going to bode well for RadoX, sitting at 17,762. You're at 18,000 something, 40, 81?
I think it's 881, yeah.
881, yeah. But he will see... I believe, is that a state marker or a town marker?
I'm
Forget
not
what those
sure.
big ones are.
It's definitely not an oblast, which is the Russian equivalent for a state, but I don't know exactly what it is. It might be like just a municipality or a region or something like that.
Yeah, he does. You will get an ace in that round. Well, that's quick. Didn't waste any time there at all. RadoX, though, does see some city names in the distance, and he has them in both directions, so that'll help him to pinpoint, as well as one very close.
For once in a Russian location, actually going either way was good enough to give you more than enough information.
And he will zoom in and see if he can get that ace here, which he looks to do. He's still got a whole another minute to go. You guessed quite early, very confident in your guess. Yeah, that little sign does say bore off to the side there.
Yeah.
He will put us at that intersection. A very good pinpoint location too, right at the crossroads there.
Yeah, that was probably, which is not what you'd usually expect with a Russian round, but that was probably the easiest round of them all.
Yeah, oddly enough, Russia being nice to everybody in Division 2. He'll zoom all the way out before he guesses, and he should pick up the ace as well. Good job for him there. Not bad. 3 aces for both of you in this one. But yeah, unfortunately, those other 2 rounds, the difference maker, Calamity. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. Yeah, it was just RadoX partly being a bit unfortunate and partly just a slight mistake there in his Malaysia round. He honestly probably, I mean, question is, how do you have a general estimate? How many Richmonds do you think there are in the US?
I mean, I would probably say there's over like 20, 30 of them. And that's just me knowing I know at least like 10 maybe in my life I've heard them. And so...
And I don't feel so bad anymore about seeing a sign that said Richmond and kind of not doing anything with it. Yeah,
you got a little bit unlucky that it was actually the biggest Richmond, the most famous of them, and it paid off for RadoX there, which helped him climb back up a little bit. But really it was round 3, as you can see there on his screen. The final scores as well as around rounds that really cost him out. Anything below 3,000 is really going to be something you're not going to like to see, no matter what your opponent does, especially with a seed like this. RadoX finishing at 22,762, with you at 23,881. So just over 1,000-point win for you there. But you guys were at the time of RadoX playing back-to-back in that one, both doing quite well in the seed.
Yeah, I think there were a few more people who put themselves in between that gap. I don't think, but let me quickly check that. I don't think RadoX. No, I remember now. He finished 7th. Didn't get a bonus point for that one.
Yeah, unfortunate for him there. But yeah, now you've got a little bit of bragging rights against him, Calamity. And RadoX, you got to work on that pinpointing because it does pay off in the end. I know, because I can't do it either. So you and me both, brother. Anyways, why does your video go on for another half an hour?
I always play all the seeds, and when I do my video, I discuss the other seeds afterwards. So if there's anyone from any other division who wants to know how I found a specific location in a different seed that wasn't from my division, then you can check out my video and I talk about them.
I see. It looks like for a lot of the other divisions, you are the only one who's played.
Yeah, it depends a bit. Usually, I think I've said this before, I like to play like pretty much as soon as the challenge comes out. This week in California, I had to wait a bit because by the time it came out, I practiced like 2 games and I just definitely wasn't ready. But yeah, I like to play as early as possible. Just because like I'd lose motivation if I see like in round 1, like it was in all the first 3 weeks. If I drop a lot of points in round 1 and I see like my opponent had a 5k there, then I don't know if that would go well for my motivation and impact my other rounds.
Yeah. Nice sometimes not to have to worry about what other people are doing. You can just play your own game for sure. Yeah. Well, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this cast. We try to bring you a couple of these every week across as many different divisions as we can. If you're a player in the Reddit League, please consider installing a software like OBS or Streamlabs OBS, XSplit, which are all free, and just hit that record button on the computer and send us your videos via YouTube so we can share it with all the Reddit League community. And we'll see you all next time. Take care.
Bye.